Hey everybody, and welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, I want to let you know that I'm not your financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice on the channel, and I don't even encourage you to invest. But what I'm going to do is share with you my own personal opinion and views on the projects discussed on the channel. So with that said, we're looking at OpenPay. They do have a fair launch that's going to be coming up. So here we go. And we can see that this is, again, their fair launch. So we got a couple of different badges here, audit and KYC. So as far as the audit is concerned, they do pass with issues. So the first issue, the owner can blacklist, so just be aware of that. Now, clearly, I mean, just because they can blacklist, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything wrong, but, any audit's going to flag blacklisting as an issue. So just be aware of that. KYC, so the KYC is through GitHub, or actually, no, sorry, not GitHub, but Solid Proof. So Solid Proof is the one that did their KYC, so just be aware of that. I did leave the link in the description for you, but you can also go ahead and just click on the badge here to go ahead and go straight to their KYC. All right, this is going to be upcoming, and we can also see the presale is going to start in just over 20 hours from the time we'll be doing the video. We also see some socials here, and this is going to be a zero tax token with a 20% buyback. Experienced team with previous project experience. It's what I think they're trying to say. Instant 5x profit. This, I'm not really sure. I don't know what this is about, but either way, just highlighting it. CMC and CG, fast tracking. Keep in mind that doesn't mean they're actually going to get tracked on CMC and CG, but they're going to try. Own POSA, blockchain, BNB, sidechain, ready to deploy. Hold and become validators on the blockchain and earn from transactional fees. Elevate your financial journey with OpenPay, the gateway to a decentralized financial revolution, and seamlessly transact across borders, access innovative services, and embrace a future where financial empowerment knows no bounds. Participate to win up to $600 in USDT. Now, we also get a video here from this content creator. You guys, as always, anytime you have an opportunity to engage with additional information concerning any project that we cover on the channel, I'm always going to tell you to check out other content creators just to make sure that you are getting as much information as possible, to make sure that you are as informed as possible before you decide to take a look at any crypto project. Now, we also see that because it's a fair launch, we get a soft cap over here in the progress bar, so that's going to be 10 BNB. Once they collect that, then they can officially launch, essentially. So we also see here the max contribution is going to be 3 beans, so not terrible. You guys know I typically think, your max, on a pre-sale should be 1, no more than that, but hey, it's their project. They can do what they want. So let's see here. The other things we want to cover again, soft cap here is reiterated at 10 beans, and the liquidity lockup time, which I did highlight in the concerns and red flag section, is only 100 days after the pool ends. We typically want to see this at 365 at minimum. So moving forward, taking a look at the token metrics, nothing really here concerns me. So I'm going to go over to the documentation. So here we go. I'm going to decline those. And we can see they've got their white paper here. So it's not like a PDF document, but it's just outlined here, on this page, so just kind of scrolling through to let you see, here what's in the documentation. So we're not going to go ahead and cover, the details of it, but you guys can do that on your own time, so this is essentially, what we got going on here, in the documentation. So moving on over to the main page, we get some links up here in the navigation bar. We got a button here to join the fair launch, another one here for pink sale, but it's not linked to the fair launch, and then for Dex View. And we get some information that OpenPay is an innovative platform that emphasizes security, lower fees, and a new era of accessible, efficient, and borderless financial interactions. So, and this is basically just mirroring a lot of the information we already saw on pink sale. They do have a mission and a vision as well, so just be aware of that. So we get some services, so global money transfer and deposits, escrow services, crowdfunding solutions, payroll system. We get a marketplace payment gateway, and the ability to request money. So, all right. So and then exploring the special features, global reach. Look at that. Okay, global reach. Seamlessly transact worldwide with OpenPay's borderless payment ecosystem. 20 plus payment gateways, access over 20 payment gateways for versatile payment options, user-friendly interface, so intuitive platform for easy navigation and swift transactions. Secure transactions, safeguarded by blockchain, ensuring trust and confidentiality in every transaction, and then withdrawal confidence. No setup fees, you're only going to pay a small percentage of a transaction fee, seamless across funds on demand for financial flexibility, and you get 24/7 support. All right, so let's see here. We also get, what looks like, some token distribution, information here. So we can see what that kind of looks like here. I'm not going to really go into, the details there, but I'll let you guys go ahead and check that out on your own as well. And then you get a couple of buttons here, one for the Telegram community and one for Twitter too. So, and an email that you can use if need be. Essentially, that's going to be OpenPay. Quick video just to go ahead and give you some exposure, to this project and the fact that they've got their fair launch, coming up. So if this is something you want to check out, just keep in mind, we don't encourage you to invest in the channel, but yeah, I do want to give you some exposure, to various projects that are coming up. So this one, again, you got just about 20 hours before this one goes live. So you got some time to go ahead and check out any other content creators, just like this guy right here, from the DeFi Whale. To go ahead and see what he has to say in regards to the project. And there may be other people that are talking about it too, so make sure that you check them out as well. That's going to do it for me, I think. Let's see here on OpenPay. I didn't have any other red flags or concerns aside from the audit issue, and the liquidity lock. So thank you guys so much for watching. And with that said, you all enjoy the day. Hey everybody, welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, I want to let you know that I am not your financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice on the channel, and I don't even encourage you to invest. But what I am going to do is share with you my own personal opinion and views on the projects discussed on the channel. So looking at Team Token, and this is going to be an ETH token. So we got a fair launch going on here. So we can see this is going to be on pink sale. A couple of different badges, audit and KYC. So as far as the audit is concerned, it did pass with no high or medium severity issues, and their certificate of KYC, that's going to be through pink sale. All right, so this is going to be upcoming, and we can also see the presale is going to start in just over 7 days from the time of doing the video, and we get their socials here. So it's a first of its kind utility NFT that grants digital ownership of real world sports teams and earn cash when they win forever. Exclusive NFT badge or NFT holder advantages, unmatched marketing investment backed by Web3 marketing leader ninjapromo.io. Strategic Google and social ads amplified impact with 50 plus influential collaborators, extensive PR coverage in prominent publications, swift CMC and CG inclusion, seamless centralized exchange listings, locked token assurance, and transparent, no private sale. They do have a video here, but you guys know that we do not play videos as we explore projects on the channel. And we see, because it's a fair launch, we get a soft cap at 25 ETH, so that they got to go ahead and fill before they can officially launch. So moving forward, we see liquidity lockup time is going to be it's going to be at a year. All right, and looking at their token metrics, nothing really here going on that concerns me. So looking at their documentation, they got 37 pages here, so we are definitely not going to go through all this. But again, just scrolling and letting you see exactly what's here in terms of their documentation. They've got a lot to certainly soak up and go through. So I'm just making you aware, of essentially, what they've got in the documentation. But definitely want to take a look, at their token distributions. They got 15% going to the team, 5% going to future team, 5% going to treasury, 10% going to marketing, 22% going to liquidity and centralized exchanges, 20% going to pre-sale, 10% going to staking rewards, and 13% going to the rewards pool. All right, so keep moving forward. We can see they talk about the rewards pool here. Let's see here. This is more on the rewards pool, and then also mentioning that they are an ETH project here. Talk a little bit about the team, so we can see that the team is Photodocs, which is helpful. You don't always see that. They've got a partner here in the ninjapromo.io marketing agency. All right, and then they talk about their roadmap. Okay, so roadmap here we can see here first or September 1st, which is obviously going to be coming up soon, at least when you consider the time that I'm doing the video, and when this pre-sale of the team token is going to be coming up. They're going to kick off the pre-sale with 30% of all team tokens. This event will allow early investors the opportunity to get involved, in the team token ahead of the general public, ahead of their public launch. So as well as give the chance, as well as having a chance, to secure the NFTs, of their favorite teams before they are released to the public. So that is clearly one benefit, of the pre-sale. We see phase one NFL season launch and public sale, so coinciding with week one of the NFL season, which I think is interesting. They'll begin the public sale of the team NFTs, allowing 4 days to grab their favorite team before the season officially starts on September 7th. This exciting milestone is going to allow sports fans and investors alike to become digital owners of their preferred NFL teams and earning team token rewards based on the team's real-world performances. So I do like the alignment there of how they're doing that, with the public sale. So in mid-September, they're looking to go ahead and try to get listed, on CMC and CoinGecko. Phase two, we're looking at the hockey and basketball seasons launch. Phase three, leagues launch, tennis, soccer, golf, baseball, etc. And then in February 2024, looking at listing on centralized exchanges. And then March, creation of the Team Token Foundation. And then we see here in May, addition of esports division. And then in July, partnership and licensing agreements. And in August, we're looking at live streaming feature. September of next year, expanding the leagues. All right, so they've got a lot in terms of aspirations, for this project that they want to accomplish, but as I've said before on many other projects, essentially when it comes down to, very ambitious roadmaps, does the team have the skill set and the experience to really be able to persevere and get everything they say they want to do done? That is something that still remains to be seen, so we'll have to see. But it is a good question. But as much as they want to accomplish in terms of that roadmap, and it does look good, the question comes down to, do they have the skill set in the team and the experience to be able to get it done? And that we just, we don't know that yet. So we also see some links up here in the navigation bar, a button here, for pre-sale, but it doesn't link to pink sale. All right, we get some information, some boxes over here that give you a little bit of information, pre-sale, team token, and the NFL season launch. But I'd like this actually to be a bit more prominent, so it's a bit easier to see. All right, so moving forward, they're revolutionizing the fan experience. Okay, so you can dive into their playbook. So the playbook is essentially their white paper. So if you didn't know that, I'm just bringing it to your attention now. That is the white paper, okay? And that's also what we already took a look at, right? So moving forward, Team NFT, the first true sports utility NFT. They're talking about ongoing rewards tier, increased fan engagement, and scarcity, okay? Because there's only going to be 100 of these NFTs minted for each team in a season. So, scarcity is also important, for NFTs, but so are the perks, because obviously the big question, when you're holding an NFT is, what makes holding it, important to me? What's the exclusivity? What is, what are the benefits? But certainly scarcity is going to certainly be a big factor here, because 100 team NFTs for each team is not a lot. So tradable assets, real life experiences, inflation-proof rewards. Okay, how's it going to work? So they give you some information here in terms of how that all works, which I'm not going to go through, but I'll let you guys go and do that on your own. Get in the game. So go from fan to owner. Don't watch from the sidelines. The game's always better from the owner's box. Transform your sports experience with Team NFT. And then you can also go ahead and click here to take a look at the marketplace. All right, so they give you game day digest. So there's some information here. We talk about the tokenomics, which you've already addressed. The token distribution, so we're not going to do that again. And we also already talked about the roadmap. Now, what I do like here, in regards to the roadmap, and we'll go back, to a little bit of the roadmap, here, in the documentation, is the first thing that stands out to me is that we get timelines, right? Now, you guys know we don't always get timelines, but it is helpful to see timelines because timelines tell us when you're going to do what you say you're going to do, okay? Now, the only other thing that I would mention here is that, hey, as much as it's, wonderful that we get timelines, we don't get progress indicators, so when they start with the pre-sale of their token, I'm hoping that they're going to do something like highlight it or check it off, cross it off, something that would indicate that, hey, we're doing this now and we've already done it, okay? So we'll see if that happens. We haven't gotten to the pre-sale yet, but we'll see what they just decide to do. Okay, and then at the end, of their project, are they going to be doing anything else that adds more value, to anybody that's already holding the token? That we don't know yet either. All right, so team up, and then you got different links here, for these various socials. And then you can also submit an email, to get information, from the project in regards to what's coming up or going on. All right, so with that being said, we're going to go back up to the top here. Obviously, you got some time, just over 7 days before this one goes live. Didn't really have, any huge, concerns or red flags, that stood out to me on this one. So, but who knows? We'll see how this one goes, concerning the pre-sale, and we'll see how things go at launch on this one. But it does look, like a decent project, and so I'm just curious to see, especially with respect, to their roadmap, if they can accomplish everything they say they're going to do. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. As always, make sure that you check out any other content creators who may be talking about this project. And just, if you're going to go ahead and proceed and participate, even though you guys know we don't encourage that on this channel, just make sure that you're doing so from an informed position. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, you all enjoy the day. Everybody, welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, I want to let you know that I'm not your financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice on the channel, and I don't even encourage you to invest. But what I am going to do is share with you my own personal opinion and views on the projects discussed on the channel. So with that said, we're looking at, this is already a launch token, so just want you to be aware of that before we get going. This is Harry Potter Obama SpongeBob 4 Mega Millions Inu. They've already released the CA for this, clearly, because it's a launch token, right? And given that it's such a long name, the easiest thing to go by is that the ticker is USD. All right, so as far as the front page is concerned, you don't really have a lot going on here, so we can see they've got, this is the jackpot, and this is going to be more of a lottery token. They've got a timer here. You got some buttons here to engage with buying it, the social channel on Telegram, their contract, and then their Twitter page as well. And then if you head down to the latter part of the page, we also see that they say that the token turns autism tax into an hourly jackpot every 120 minutes. 4 of you are going to be able to win that. All right, good luck. So stop scrolling, join the TG for max autism. They give you an email here, and then both of the videos are essentially, just SpongeBob, so this is also going to be a low tax token, so tax in and out is going to be 5% both ways. Let's take a look at some of the other stuff I got going on here. So looking at the chart, all right, here's where we are. We're sitting at an 809,000 market cap essentially now. I've talked about this in the community tab on my channel, that I do have a call channel now. I've also mentioned this on Twitter, that I've started a call channel called Crimson's Calls. Now, I will leave you the link for that below the video in the description, so that you can engage with that. But I do post, on Crimson's Calls, essentially every day. So there's always at least one project that's posted there. Yesterday, I think I posted several projects. I do pre-launches, on that channel. I also do tokens that are coming up, or they may have already launched, like this one. I call this project at 19K on the market cap, and yeah, it's not a mistake. As we can see what the market cap is right now, called it at 19K at the all-time high, which it hit that yesterday. So the time we're doing the video, I think we're on August 20th. When they hit their all-time high yesterday, it was at 1.7 million. So think about that. I called this project at 19K, which is like back down here someplace. And essentially at the all-time high, this did an 89x. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you're somebody that's been a part of the, the YouTube channel, and you want to be taking a look at, some other projects that I'm taking a look at and calling, definitely go ahead and take a look at the call channel. Like I said, I'll leave a link for you so you can engage with that. It's only been up for about a month now, as far as the life of that call channel. So it's growing nicely. We got over 200 subscribers, already. So if you want to get in on what's going on there, definitely check that out. But like I said, this was a pretty good one. And so even now, when you take a look at where the current chart is at, we're sitting at 824, still heavy gains, for anybody that went ahead and followed the call from 19K all the way up. So the other thing that I want to show you is that on their Twitter page, they do now have tiers. Okay, so right now, at the time we're doing the video, they've got almost 5 ETH in the pool that's available to win. They came up with this tier system. I really like the tiers because I think it really is much more inclusive of everybody, regardless of what their holdings are. So you got people with a bunch of tokens, you got people with not a whole lot of tokens, so just keep that in mind. But here you can see the minimum amount of tokens that you need to hold. So you see they got 10 winners that they're looking to choose, and you also have here at 5, in this last 3, where all you need to be holding is 5K. And just be a Twitter supporter or a Telegram supporter, and you can see what you could win, and that's 0.2 ETH. Okay, so that's obviously the USD value. You're talking over $300. Here, just hold 10,000 tokens and we can see it's 0.375 ETH, and that's the equivalent of $626. A couple of winners there. We can see in this tier right here, you got to hold a minimum of 25,000 tokens, and we can see that you could win 0.55 ETH, which is over $900. And if you're holding at minimum 50,000 tokens, you've got a couple of winners up here. You could win over $1,600. Okay, so you can see what the tiers look like. Like I said, I really like the tiers. They are still making changes in this project, so because I think at the start, I think all you had to hold was like 30,000 tokens, and they made another change, so they're trying to go ahead and adjust it as they keep moving forward. The other thing that's really, really cool about this project is that they haven't even made CMC yet. They haven't made CoinGecko yet. They've only done ETH trending once. Everything else has been organic and through the help of the team and the dev. So, when you're talking about in this project, I saw it at 19K, but there was somebody else that saw it, like 5K. So the market cap was super duper low on this project, and it has hit an all-time high in literally like 3 or 4 days of 1.7 million without being listed anywhere. So I don't really know what the future, of the project is. Like I said, this is a crazy chart to look at, but I don't know what the project, what the future of the project is going to be. But I'd say that if they start to get listed anywhere, it's not hard to imagine that this market cap, couldn't do crazy numbers. I don't know for sure. I'm just putting it out there. Now, as far as looking at a lot of the projects that we cover on this channel, what are they missing? They don't have an audit yet. They don't have a white paper. They don't have a KYC. They don't have a lot of stuff that you foundationally want to see in tokens, especially those that are typically covered, on this channel. But, I do believe, based on everything that I've seen, that the team is, doing things the right way. Sometimes they'll go and they'll close the chat, and when they close the chat, ultimately they're trying to go ahead and get, a lot of engagement. And, they really haven't done any marketing. The way that they've grown in their awareness has essentially been through Twitter. So when they close the chat, they're trying to go ahead and get bookmarks, they're trying to get replies, they're trying to get likes, and they're trying to get reposts, so essentially that's how they've grown their awareness, and that's what they're continuing to do. And quite frankly, having watched this over the last few days, it is working. So again, I wanted to go ahead and bring this to your attention, put it on your radar. If this is something you want to take a look at, looks like a fun token. It's been a fun token. The community has been great, so just wanted to, again, bring some attention to this, by doing a video on it and letting you guys, know about the ticker is USD. Harry Potter, Obama, SpongeBob, for Mega Millions Inu. So with that being said, that's going to do it for me, on this video. Just make sure that if this is something you want to engage with, do so from an informed position. Make sure you check out the chat, see how the community is engaging, with the team and so forth, and then make a decision on how you want to proceed. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, you all enjoy the day. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, I want to let you know that I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice on the channel, and I don't even encourage you to invest. But what I'm going to do is share with you my own personal opinion and views on the projects discussed on the channel. So we're looking at Trending Tool. This is going to be an ETH project. They do have a fair launch coming up. So here we go. We can see this is going to go live in just over 2 days, from the time of me doing the video. And so this is going to be the trendingtool.io. Fair launch. Got a couple of badges here, audit and KYC. So as far as the audit's concerned, I did pass with no high or medium severity issues. Certificate of KYC, that's going to be a pink sale KYC. Again, this is upcoming. And pre-sale, again, it's going to start in just over 2 days and 20 hours, or 21 hours, from the time of doing the video. They've got their socials here. It says this is an automated SMM panel that's been tokenized, made by Pink Sale service providers, automating a service that is consistently requested. This is an opportunity to invest into an existing business with a real user base and consistent revenue. Trending Tool is leveraging the buyback feature by allocating 30% of raise for buybacks. The token is on the ERC, or ETH blockchain, and at zero tax. The public raise will only be 30 ETH. Okay, so we see the soft cap, for this, because again, it is a fair launch. It's going to be 15 ETH, here. And we also see liquidity lockup time just under 365 days, so almost a year, on the liquidity pool lockup. So let's see here, moving forward, looking at the token, metrics here. My only concern, is all the unlocked tokens. So you got 41% here in terms of unlocked tokens. I would love for the team to go ahead and explain what's going on with all those unlocked tokens. So moving forward, let's go ahead and take a look at some documentation. We'll go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Oops, too big. Okay, there we go. And we're just going to go ahead and scroll through and just kind of browse, to see what's going on here. So we can see an introduction, some objectives. They're abstract. They say this is a solution in the digital era. The success of a brand, individual, or even blockchain project relies heavily on the social media presence. So a well-engaged profile not only helps establish credibility, but also paves the way for exponential growth and reach. The trending tool enters the scene with the primary goal, of aiding entities in the journey, by providing automated SMM services across numerous platforms. All right, so we get some features here, as well. So this is a little bit small to read, but I'll let you guys go ahead and go through that. We see some token information, ERC20. There's the ticker, Ethereum chain. Total supply is going to be 1 million, 0% tax on buys and sells. And then some token distribution. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So we see 3% going to bridges, 5% to the team, 5% to marketing, 5% to centralized exchange, 20% to presale, 2% to rewards, 25% going to buyback, 35% going to liquidity. All right, so we also see a project roadmap here. So we see curating project functions, development of trending tool app is finished, website and branding design, creation of trending tool socials and initial growth, creation of the pink sale and no tax token launch, takeover on Google, traditional listings and marketing. This is number 2. Sorry, I should have started at 1, but here we just get plenty of brainstorming. So I'm going to go ahead and move on over to 3. Progression here, trending tool expansion beyond your social media. They're going to introduce views on SoundCloud, viewers on Twitch, Kick and more in Q3 after they've established themselves in Q2. So going beyond some of the traditional stuff that you typically see, in terms of tokens trying to grow in their awareness, which is good to see. Launch of the automated Telegram bot to place Web3 orders, NFT services only. This is going to be useful to crypto.com entrepreneurs and influencers, centralized exchange listings, integration of trending tool with the platform. And then in here, 4 future prospects. By this time, they hope to have met their project, of over $100,000 in profit. This would mean a guaranteed 23x from the launch, and a liquidity of XYZ, putting us in a position to launch on KuCoin, which is their goal for Q4. And then in Q5, they're just looking for growth. So it would be helpful for them to at least state like months, in terms of here's when we say we're going to accomplish everything we want to do here in phase 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. All right, so moving forward. We see business analysis, and analysis is not spelled correctly, so if the team comes across this, they need to adjust that. Let's see here, moving forward, we see they talk about a little bit of their marketing strategy in their documentation, got an economic model, some governance, so they're looking to implement, maybe have some kind of a DAO associated, with their project. And that's essentially the end of the documentation. So I know that's a quick, walkthrough of it, but again, as we go through documentation on this channel, we typically just browse, and then I leave it back on you to go ahead and go through it a bit more in depth if it's something that you're interested in participating in, even though we don't encourage you to on this channel. So moving forward to the main page, we see some links in the navigation bar. They talk about, exactly what is the trending tool, automatic, SMM, services platform. Okay, and they talk about some of the services here, Instagram, we're seeing a bunch of different socials, here, and they're talking about, followers, likes, views, reactions, and retweets. They got a video here that you guys can play on your own, because you guys know that I don't play videos as we go ahead and go through projects and explore them on the channel. So moving forward, we get a button here to go ahead and download the white paper, which we just went over. We get some financial projections, as well. Trending tool has near to no expenses, for the botting services, press release services, and mass DMs, making it the most impressive business model versus the supply and demand of these services, which are always needed and only growing as businesses continue to focus on their social presence. We're able to offer near unbeatable prices and with a dedicated team, 24/7 customer service and order fulfillment. Okay. So about the buybacks. With every order, 40% of the profits will be bought back based on our financial analyst advice, as well as community decisions. So naturally, and this is coming back to, essentially that DAO they're looking to try to implement. So naturally, as trending tool grows, ranks better on SEO, and becomes a better solution for not just those deep into crypto and tech, but for the regular day-to-day person, the buybacks will increase as well, which, should certainly help the token. While we are in that growth phase nonetheless, Pink Cell is structured, so that upon finalization, we'll have a huge buyback pool at their disposal. This makes Trending Tool one of the most positive and promising investments within the space. All right, so Trending Tool represents a real existing business generating revenue and what will be the proper way to tokenize a product. And essentially, this is, kind of just mimicking, what we saw on Pink Cell. Again, and we saw some of this, in their documentation where they talk about some of their objectives, as well, which I'm not going to go through. We saw some of that token allocation information, also in the documentation, which we've already gone through, and we've talked about, their roadmap. So I guess for me, at the end of the roadmap, it'd be good to know, are we getting a V2, on this roadmap? It says to be continued, but does that mean a V2 or what? And again, we would like to see some indicators, of what you've already completed, so whether it's checking it off, crossing it off, something that indicates, hey, we've already done, what we've already mentioned, here on the roadmap, but we don't get that yet, but might be something that they'd want to do, as they refine this roadmap. And, I love the phases, but it's also helpful to know when is phase one complete? Is that going to be like, before October? Are we going to get all this stuff done, before the end of the year? We have no idea. So some more specifics, indicators, of progress, on the roadmap would be helpful, in taking a look at this roadmap. So, but we've reached the end of the page, so again, guys, this is going to go ahead and go live in just over 2 days from now. So just be aware of it. And you got plenty of time to go ahead and try to get some additional information. Check out any other content creators that may be talking about the project, so that you have as much information as possible to be able to evaluate this and make an informed decision. All right. So thank you so much for watching. With that said, you all enjoy the day. Everybody, and welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, I want to let you know that I'm not your financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice on the channel, and I don't even encourage you to invest. But what I'm going to do is share with you my own personal opinion and views on the projects discussed on the channel. So we are looking at Yielding Protocol. They've got a fair launch that's going to be coming up. So here we are at Pink Sale, and we can see that this is going to be their fair launch, right? So we've got some badges, Safe Food, Audit KYC. As far as the audit is concerned, the audit did pass with no higher medium severity issues, and their KYC is just going to be a Pink Cell KYC. So this is going to be upcoming, and the pre-sale is going to start in just over a day from the time we're doing the video. We see their socials. It also says here that the Yielding Protocol is a cutting-edge decentralized finance DeFi project that aims to transform the borrowing, supplying, and staking landscape by introducing fixed fee protocols for fixed terms. In a world where the most popular DeFi protocols are based on floating rate borrowing and lending, the Yielding Protocol offers a stable and predictable experience that investors can rely on. Borrow, stake, supply, 0% buy fees, a mobile app, and limited supply. Okay, now you also have a video here, but you guys know we don't play videos as we explore projects on the channel. And because it's a fair launch, we get a soft cap. So that soft cap is going to be 20 beans, okay? So with that said, they also have a mass contribution of 5 BNB. Again, I tend to think that's on the high side, so I did highlight that in the concerns for me, as you'll see in the description. So let's see here. Liquidity lockup time here is going to be a year, okay? And looking at the token metrics, nothing here that's really concerning to me, so we're going to transition on over to the documentation. Now, looking at the documentation, we can see some tokenomic information here. We got 28% going to pre-sale, 16% going to liquidity, 15% going to the DAO protocol, 10% going to the ecosystem here, 10% going to the mobile app, 10% going to the D app, 5% going to advisors, and 5% going to the team. All right, and we also get some social media here, all those tabs. So I'm just also scrolling just to show you there's a lot to engage here in terms of, what they've got going on here in the documentation. But looking at the roadmap, we see 3 different phases. Phase 1, we see the protocol initial idea, team alignment, concept building, website development, white paper creation, and DApp development. In phase 2, we get contract safe and audited. So again, if we go back over to their Pink Cell page, we can see the audit over here. All right, KYC validation, same thing. We also see they've got the KYC. Marketing expansion, ICO and Pink Sale, Uniswap listing, CMC and CG listing. In phase 3, we get the DApp launch, mobile application launch, borrowing, implementation, staking, centralized exchange listings, which we don't get a tier. We don't know who they're targeting there. And they're coming out with another roadmap. So I love the fact that they do highlight roadmap 2.0. So we're getting a V2 on the roadmap. So there's going to be more coming, which means more value, to anybody holding the token. And that's always, helpful to see that they are looking to continue on with their roadmap, and you're only getting a part of it now. All right, so we're going to go ahead and transition over to the main page, and we can see a number of different links up here in the navigation bar. A link to launch the D app, the CA here. It gives us basically essentially the same information that we see, on presale as well. A couple of buttons here, to buy it, community, for the Telegram and the documentation, as well. Let's see here. It says here, again, just repeating, what has already gone ahead and stated, on presale. It's a cutting edge DeFi project, okay? Let's see here, moving forward, we can see some features, borrowing is going to be coming, staking is ongoing, supply is coming, the D app's coming, mobile app is coming, and then this is giving you just a link, for the ecosystem. Their target, it's on a clear mission, or they're setting a clear mission and vision and value to, that are important, for the protocol, helping to establish a clear sense of purpose and direction, for the platform, providing a framework for decision making and goal setting. This is helping to ensure that all stakeholders, including investors and developers and community members, are aligned around a common set of goals and objectives. Not really sure why this image is broken. Could be on my side, not really sure. So they talk about their vision, and then they give you partners here. And essentially, we get down to the roadmap, and then we're done, on the website. So now here in their roadmap, they've got everything checked off. What I don't like about this is the fact that, hey, if everything's checked off, it means everything's already done. You know what I mean? So there should be something that should highlight, hey, we've already completed this, so I don't know what they plan to do to highlight that or to indicate that, but there should be something that should show anybody that comes across the roadmap, hey, this is what we've already done. You know what I mean? So, and here, when we see the roadmap and the documentation, we don't get checks. I'm a firm believer that, when you're doing a roadmap that's going to be on your main page and a roadmap that's going to be in documentation, there has to be consistency between both of those, because you got people that will look at your main page, and then you've got people that will want to look at your documentation. Now, granted, 90% of people are going to want to look at your main page, and you're going to get the rest probably wanting to look at your documentation, but there should still be consistency between those two. So any progress indicators that they can indicate here in terms of, hey, we've already completed this, should also show up in the documentation in the roadmap here as well, for anybody that's looking at both or looking at one or the other. All right, and then obviously we want to see timelines. We want to see when you say you're going to do what you say you're going to do. So what months constitute phase 1, same thing for phase 2, and same thing for phase 3. We don't even know if we're still going to be in 2023, at the time that they get to their phase 3. Are we going to be in 2024? We have no idea, because we don't see progress indicators and we don't see timelines associated, with the roadmap. So. All right, and this is basically the end of the page, so that's going to do it pretty much, for me in regards to yielding protocol. Keep in mind, they do have their presale that's going to be going live in just over a day, from the time of doing the video, so just be aware that you've got some time to look into this a little bit further. Check out any other content creators who are talking about it, and also jump into the Telegram community and see what's going on there between the team and the community. See how they're communicating in there, again, get a feel for, how this team is operating, prior to their launch. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. With that said, you all enjoy the day.